Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kelsey and welcome to the ultimate book video. So I feel like this year I've seen quite a lot of ultimate book videos and I've been meaning to do one because it just seems so fun. Basically, what an ultimate book video is going book shopping, which obviously I love, book hauling the books that you buy at said book shopping, doing an unhaul, doing a vlog, reading a book, all of that encompassed in one video. And this week I was able to do so. I got the idea to do it because I've been a little bit behind on a vlog I have planned for next week. I guess you're going to see it. So this was a very easy one day type of filming to be able to slot in. And it is my first time doing it and it was a bit last minute to do so. So I tried to make the best of it with what I could. So I hope you enjoy it anyways and I'll take you back to Kelsey yesterday. Hello, I hope my microphone is working. I have to whisper because my son is sleeping and I really don't want him to wake up. I hope I did a better introduction, but this is going to be like a everything type of vlog, like spending the day with me. And I would like to read one full book in this entire day. I have a really busy day tomorrow. Well, tonight is the start of this vlog, but tomorrow is like essentially the day that I would like to complete at least most of the tasks. I would like to do book shopping, a book haul, and read an entire book in one day. It's a hefty task, especially because the majority of the day I will be traveling because I have a spin class in the morning and then I'm going to my friend's house at night and I have to pick up my son from daycare. So we have quite a busy day. I would like to pick a really short book. So let's go to my TBR shelf, see what's calling to me, see what I'm interested in. I'm thinking potentially The Honjin Murders by Seishi Yokomizo, because it's relatively short and I think it could be really interesting. Also very short. Orbital by Samantha Harvey could be really interesting. I don't want to tackle any of like Sean Maguire series, Every Heart a Doorway series, because I would like to read them all in one shot. How Fascism Works could be very timely, or On Tyranny could be a very timely book, but I don't know how much I'll have to say on them if I do pick it up. Strange Houses and Walking Practice could be really interesting too, actually. Let me collect them and look over some reviews and see how I feel. So I think what I'm going to do is make an Instagram story and have people vote which one would be great for me to read. So I have 4 choices. The first of which is Orbital by Samantha Harvey. I picked it up because it's the Booker Prize winner, I believe. Yeah, for 2024. This is, from what I understand, a novel about space. I love novels where we're thinking about space and how it reflects like our everyday lives, you know, kind of thing. Then this is a pretty recent purchase for me. It's Walking Practice by Do Ki-min. This follows like an alien type of creature who needs to eat people in order to blend into our society and understand humans. A very weird fucking book, I've heard, but I think the one that intrigues me the most. Then a book I acquired at least like 2 years ago. It's been on my TBR. This is The Honjin Murders by Seishi Yokomizo, an award-winning classic mystery introducing Japan's most famous detective. In the winter of 1937, the village of Okamura is abuzz with excitement over the forthcoming Chiyanagi wedding, but amid the gossip, there is also a worrying rumor. It seems a sinister masked man has been asking questions around the village. I've heard really good things about this one as well, so it would be fun to pick this up. And then lastly, I didn't mention this when I was looking at the books. My eyes just glanced past it, but I would really I think probably love to tackle this one the most. I think it's been on my TBR the longest. This is Untethered Sky by Fonda Lee. I love Fonda Lee. I love the Jade City series, and this was like a short little novella that she wrote. Esther's family was torn apart when a manticore killed her mother and baby brother, leaving her with nothing but her father's painful silence and a single overwhelmingly need to kill the monsters that took her family. So this is also up for consideration. So I'm going to take a picture. I'm going to post it to my Instagram stories, and then tomorrow morning we're going to reconvene because that's the book that I will get an audiobook for and listen to. Hello, welcome to this angle again. It's time to give you an update. As you can see, it's so foggy outside. Oh my god. But the winner today was in fact Untethered Sky by Fonda Lee by like a slim margin. It was like 41-36 or whatever. And so I took a screenshot this morning because I was like, once I'm out of the house, like it can change and it doesn't matter. So I'm very so I'm sorry, I'm so paranoid.
that people are gonna watch me. Very, very excited to read this. Like I said, it was the one that I was leaning to the most besides Walking Practice, which got 0 votes. None of you guys have taste. Because I have read from Fonda Lee in the past, and I really, really liked the Jade City series. And this was the first book, I think, to come out after she published that entire series. And it's obviously like a fraction of the page count of Jade City. Thinking ahead, because I had already seen it winning last night, I got the audiobook from the library so that I can listen to it today. Where we are currently, so my spin class that I'm trying out today is in the North Shore of the Montreal Island. And in Laval, there isn't a lot of bookstores, at least to my complete knowledge. The biggest bookstore that Laval has is Indigo. However, it is run by Heather Reisman or something like that, and her husband created a foundation where they raise money to send foreign Jewish kids to Israel for free so that they can join the IDF. So if you see something called like Indigo Kills Kids and stuff like that, that's what it is. I just recently found out about this. I think it's really unfortunate because it is obviously the biggest bookstore that Canada has, and specifically in more rural areas that are not in these big city conglomerates like Montreal. And another problem specifically with Quebec is that Quebec has very intense language laws, and due to the language laws, a lot of people obviously speak French. A lot of the like more chainy bookstores that would be in rural areas outside of Indigo tend to be French speaking. But I didn't want to make this video where I'm taking you to Indigo and supporting obviously the genocide in Palestine with my dollars. So I decided to do a little bit of research and see in between my house and Psychologie Spin where there could be an independent bookstore that could also sell English books. So I found this bookstore in a random mall in the North Shore that, according to their website, has English books. I'm really, really hoping that it does and this video isn't a flop, because I wanted to make a whole day out of this. So I'm going to put my headphones in. I'm going to start Untethered Sky. We'll see what happens. The store opens in like 5 minutes. And it's really funny to me because when I worked at Toys R Us, I used to hate people who would show up directly when the store opened. And I'd be like, who the fuck shows up at this time? And now that I'm a mom that has to wake up early, drop her kid off at daycare, I literally have nothing to do in the day but show up to places when they open. So that's me now. Look at me. Anyways, I'm gonna go in soon. Hopefully there is something. And then as soon as I'm done here, I'm going to go find some coffee. There is a Tim Hortons I see across the street. I mean, it looks like it's packing over there, but like I am particularly not one for the enjoyment of Tim Hortons. So we'll see what happens. Well, that was definitely a dud. The people who work there are super freaking nice. Like, they were so kind, but in their brick and mortar locations, they only serve French books, which is fine. I speak French, I read French, and maybe I should make more of an effort to read more like Quebecois French books, but I just didn't feel like that today. So there is another independent bookstore close to where I am, about like a 15-minute drive, but more closer to where I need to be at the end of the day anyways. And I'm hoping that I can find something that I would want to bring home. Okay, so we reached the second location. I'm really hoping, I'm believing that they will have English books here and I will find something to buy. Because if not, we're going to have to talk about the political state of this province and the underfunding of not only the English language, but just bookstores in general outside of the big cities. What the dog doing? Okay, so I did some damage, but it's for a good cause, okay? I want bookstores that sell primarily French books to also sell English books, okay? Sue me. I'm so happy with my experience at this bookstore because I absolutely love that they cater to the English community of the North Shore. I think it's important. And while I understand why it's important to also have French bookstores, this is the one province in Canada where the language is primarily French. So I can understand the want and need to support the French community, of course. I just wish that more independent bookstores outside of Montreal cater to an English community, and I'm very, very happy that Librairie Martin is able to do that for the community. I did buy 3 books, okay, whatever. The first book is one that I've been really interested for quite a while. It's Breasts and Eggs by Mieko Kawakami, and if I'm not mistaken, this follows like 2 sections, one about becoming a woman, hence the breasts, and then one about becoming a mother, I think, hence the eggs. The story of these 3 women reunited in a working class neighborhood of Tokyo is told through the gaze of Natsuko, 30 years old, an aspiring writer haunted by hardships endured in her youth. I've been meaning to pick this one up and read it. I think I'm leaning a lot towards books that discuss like womanhood and motherhood since giving birth, so I feel like this is a likely choice for me. Then the next book is Margaret Atwood's The Edible Woman. I have read quite a bit of Margaret Atwood's backlist, but I read that a lot when I was in high school, and I really find that she changed me fundamentally for like what I appreciate in books, and I want to see if I feel the same way about her in my adulthood. Margaret Atwood is a predominant author here in Canada, and so I would like to be able to tackle at least some of her backlist. This is her debut novel, or the first published, and it is about Marianne, who is a willing member of the consumer society in which she lives. She suddenly finds herself identifying with the things being consumed. She can cope with her tidy-minded fiance, Peter, who likes shooting rabbits. She can cope with her job in market research and the antics of her roommate. She can even cope with Duncan, a graduate student who seems to prefer laundromats to women. But not being able to eat is a different matter. Steak was the first to go, then lamb, pork, and the rest. Vegetables were the final straw, but Marianne has her reasons, and what happened next provides an unusual solution. This is really interesting because it reminds me of the synopsis for The Vegetarian by Han Kang, and I have not read that one either. Maybe I could look at both of these in conversation. That would be a really interesting vlog idea. Anyways, I'm really excited. This was published in 1969, so I'm curious to see how it holds up in 2025. And yeah, so that was the last like book I got. And then I also wanted to support their manga section. So this is Boys Run the Riot by Keito Gaku, and this is about a transgender boy who doesn't have anyone to confide in about the confusion he feels. He can't tell his best friend, who he's secretly got a crush on, and he can't tell his mom, who constantly asks Ryo why he dresses like a boy. He certainly can't tell Jin, the new transfer student who looks like just another bully. The only time Ryo feels at ease is when he's wearing his favorite clothes. I've heard really good things about this manga. What I really appreciated about this bookstore too was that they had a lot of like indigenous work facing forward, queer books facing forward, books written by women. So I was just thoroughly impressed, and when I saw this one facing forward, I was like, I have to support this. Transgender rights are being attacked on the daily, maybe not necessarily here in Canada, but in the United States, and that intense conservatism seeps into our country, and it's starting to become a conversation, especially with the conservative, sad Temu version of Donald Trump, Pierre Poilievre. So I want to show that these books are needed and these books are wanted by putting my money where my mouth is, you know? So those are all of the books I got. I did get to page 50 while I was walking around and listening to this. So this follows Esther, whose family was eaten by a manticore. Esther and her friend Dariush want to work together and train their rocks. And I'm guessing like these are the rocks. They're these giant beasts that they need to tame. Sort of, I guess, like their version of like a dragon or a horse in like our time, and they're able to like ride them and use them for battle. So Esther and Dariush are training their rocks in order to join this specific group of people, soldiers, that go out and fight manticores and kill them. Obviously, she is hell-bent on revenge to punish the manticores for killing her family. Obviously, she's not searching for like that specific manticore, but just tackling them in general because they are such a scary thing that they have to deal with in this society. I'm enjoying it so far. I'm interested to see where this goes because the beginning portion of the novel was really just breaking down Esther's previous life, her motivations, I guess, for joining this like squadron of soldiers. I feel like as we move forward, we're going to see, or I hope we're going to see, a theme develop a bit more. So that's where I'm at. I think now I'm going to reward myself, not that I didn't reward myself with 3 books, but I'm going to reward myself, I think, with a coffee since I have a bit of time left before I go to my spin class.
Hello, so it is obviously several hours later. I am freshly cleaned. I had a great workout class. This is a new studio in general and also obviously a new studio for me. And I really, really, really liked it. I feel like I'm in so much pain because it was just such a great class. So I already booked 2 classes for next week because I just had the best time ever. And I really, really do like spinning. And I really do feel that like not a runner's high, I guess, because I'm not really running, but I definitely feel that like cardiac high that people feel when they really, really love like a cardio movement. That was really good. I'm really happy about that. And I, of course, I'm updating you now on the second third of Untethered Sky. I'm almost done. And this second half was really just building the foundations that Fonda Lee already set in the first third of the book. So Esther, along with her rock, have killed their first manticore, and now she is a part of the team. She is no longer an apprentice. She has had her first kill and therefore is considered a member of the squad. So she is being respected, like she has met the royalty. We move forward a bit, give or take a couple of years, to this last third that I will be reading. And I'm very interested to see where the story goes because obviously it has been very, very slow. But I think that that's normal for Fonda Lee's pacing. Like, it doesn't surprise me that this is the pacing that we're dealing with. You see it very similarly in the Greenbone Saga, the Jade City trilogy, that she's very slow, but each individual character moment is essential to what I'm hoping will be a fantastic ending. I'm getting ready now. I'm going to go pick up my son. And right after picking him up, I'm going to go to pick up my friend. And then we're going to my other friend's house. So it's quite a busy afternoon. I will, however, be probably updating you on the last third tomorrow. So if I remember to record any B-roll tonight, hopefully I do, you will see me later. I just thought about this, but considering that this is the ultimate book video, I did book shopping, I did a vlog, and I did a haul, but I didn't do an unhaul. So to make up for the 3 books that I bought yesterday, I'm going to unhaul 3 books. So the first book I'm going to unhaul is Climate of Chaos. If you watched my last video, so the one before this one, I read a bunch of arcs that I've gotten from publishers, and this just didn't hit in the way that I wished it to. And I do think that this is a really interesting YA that could go in the hands of a young adult and be maybe their first look into like climate dystopian and like medical dystopian type of conversations, like that could be really helpful for the youth of the Montreal surrounding area. Definitely unhauling this one. Thank you, Penguin, but off she goes. Then it pains me to say this, but I'm actually going to unhaul some Aardvark books. I love Aardvark. I love the service that they provide, but some of the books that I've read so far just haven't hit, and that's okay. This is one of them that I didn't think was going to be anything more than a 3-star, and I knew that when I ordered it, so whatever. This is House of Beth by Carrie Cullen. It is very akin to Rebecca. It follows a woman who goes back to her small town from the big city after a breakup and marries one of her high school boyfriends, and then moves into the house that he had bought with his old wife Beth. The house is creepy and weird and like haunted, it seems. So maybe someone else will enjoy this more than I did. And then this one I kind of want to sell, but it's The Starving Saints by Caitlin Starling. I just didn't really like this, and I don't think Caitlin Starling is for me as much as I love her prompts. Her books are nothing more than like 3.5s to me, and I even think this was a 2. It just didn't fascinate me, didn't intrigue me in any way, but I love the like inside cover. And I think a lot of people did too. And usually when I unhaul, I don't care to like make a profit out of the books because I never have any books I personally feel are like worth selling kind of. So I always give them away to like my local Value Village. But this one I feel like I might want to check on like eBay and stuff just to see, because I feel bad that I spent money on this in like a book box. Not that it's any different from when I buy books from the bookstore, but whatever. Just because it's a special edition, I would just like to see if it's possible to sell it. And then if not, I'm just going to give it away to my Value Village as well. So those are the books I'm going to be unhauling. And I'm going to come back with like my final review of Untethered Sky, and we'll wrap this up. Hello. So welcome to the end of the vlog. And I'm going to give my final thoughts on Untethered Sky by Fonda Lee. I can't believe how moved I was with this small little novella, but I just think it's because I love everything that Fonda Lee does. We spent only 150 pages with these characters, and yet I would die for them. The dynamics that Fonda Lee wrote for Esther's relationships with other characters was so fleshed out for the small amount of time we had with them. And the plot, while slow paced and simple, kept me engaged the entire time. And I think that's something that Fondely does really well, even with the Greenbone saga. It's the way that she paces her novels. Everything just feels really intentional, and even these smaller moments between characters just feel really important. I was so committed to following Esther and Zara's adventures for whatever they would have been. And additionally, I think Fondely did a really good job at discussing themes of like grief and moving forward from your grief in like, I swear to God, I know it sounds repetitive, but in so few pages. I just really, really wish this was longer. I think I could have spent more time with the characters and more time with this theme of grief, and it could have definitely been a 5-star. So I settled on a 4-star, but I just love Fondely's writing so much. So I'm so happy this was chosen. And that's it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed my first attempt at a ultimate book video. Please let me know down below if you would like to see more of these videos. I would love to do them, and I could take you to different bookstores around Montreal. If you would like to follow me on any of my other social medias, I do leave a link down below to my Twitter, Goodreads, and Instagram if you would like to follow me there reluctantly, because again, we are all victims of capitalism and being forced to subscribe to the social medias created by unethical billionaires. But of course, other than that, it is the end of the video, so please do not forget to like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell. It does wonders for my channel, makes me feel really good. And that's it. I never know how to end these things, so I will see you next time. Okay, bye!